So in this problem, we are given a trigonometric equation. So we need to find out the value of x. So let's begin. So here we have x times cotangent of pi over 2 plus theta added to tangent of pi over 2 plus theta times sine theta plus cosecant of pi over 2 plus theta. So that's equals to 0. So here there are three trig functions which we will be simplifying. So let's begin with the first one. We have cotangent of pi over 2 plus theta. Now clearly we have an odd multiple of pi over 2. That means it's multiplied to 1 being an odd number. So our cotangent function transforms to the tangent function and the new angle is going to be theta. But we also have to check in which quadrant it lies. So pi over 2, so 1 pi over 2, that lies in the first quadrant. But we are adding an extra angle theta to it, which is going to take us to the second quadrant. So let's use the quadrant system to get a better idea of this. That means in the first quadrant, we have pi over 2. But if we add theta to it, that takes us to the second quadrant, where only the sine and cosecant are positive. Everything else is negative. So we're going to get negative of tangent theta. So this is going to be the simplified value, cotangent of pi over 2 plus theta. Next, we have tangent of pi over 2. So pi means 1 times pi over 2 plus theta. So we have an odd multiple of pi over 2. So tangent is going to transform to cotangent. We're going to get cotangent of theta using the same logic. Pi over 2 plus theta lies in the second quadrant, where only sine and cosecant are positive, everything else is negative. So we have negative cotangent of theta. And finally, we have cosecant of pi over 2 plus theta. So this transforms to secant of theta. And here we're going to have a positive value. Now don't get confused because this is the second quadrant. Even though I'm putting a positive sign before secant theta, while in the quadrant 2, it clearly says that only the sine and the cosecant are positive. So we always have to look at the beginning of the trigonometric function. The beginning of the problem, we started out with cosecant. That's what's giving us secant theta. But cosecant function itself is positive. So its value is also going to be positive in the second quadrant. Now that we have the simplified value, we label this as equation number 1. But we can rewrite equation number 1 now as x times. So we're cotangent of pi over 2 plus theta. So that's simply negative tangent theta. So we have negative x times tangent theta plus tangent of pi over 2 plus theta. So that is negative cotangent of theta multiplied to sine theta. Then we have cosecant of pi over 2 plus theta. So that's positive secant theta. This is equals to 0. Fine. Let's further simplify it. We have negative x times tangent theta plus, let's keep it as minus. Now cotangent theta, that's the ratio of the cosine function to that of the sine function. So cosine theta over sine theta, then multiply it to sine theta plus secant theta. So that's equals to 0. So sine and sine cancels out. So we have negative x times tangent theta minus cosine theta plus secant theta, which is equals to 0. Now we can further simplify this. We'll keep x times tangent theta on one side, and on the other side we're going to have secant theta minus cosine theta. Now let's divide both sides with tangent theta to find out the value of x. So we have x equals to secant theta over tangent theta minus cosine theta over tangent theta. Now we know that secant theta, that's the reciprocal of the cosine function. So we have 1 over cosine theta in the numerator, and in the denominator we have the ratio sine over cosine theta minus cosine theta divided by, so tangent theta will be sine theta divided by cosine theta. So this now reduces to 1 over sine theta minus cosine squared theta divided by sine theta. So that's x. We can combine it to get x equals to 1 minus cosine squared theta divided by sine theta. Now we have the standard identity, sine squared theta plus cosine squared theta, that's equals to 1. So 1 minus cosine squared theta is equivalent to sine squared theta. We can replace this numerator 1 minus cosine squared theta with sine squared theta. We have sine squared theta over sine theta. Now 1 sine theta from the denominator, 1 from the numerator factors out, leaving us with only sine theta. So therefore the value of x we have successfully obtained the value of it. Thus, x equals to sine theta.